Hello, viewers. Hello. I appreciate your presence and I welcome you to Beyond the Headlines. I have a fascinating package for you today. Now, despite the reported detention of Simon Ekpa, the self-proclaimed Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic, members of the organization has kicked off a controversial convention today, Friday, 29th November, and this will last until 2nd December 2024. Now, they believe this would lead to the declaration of the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. Essentially, they aim to re-establish the lost sovereign nation of the Biafra from Nigeria, which they intend to call the United States of Biafra. Simon Ekpa, who has been the most controversial Biafra agitator since 2021, was arrested alongside 4 others a week ago by Finnish authorities. He is being charged of terrorism committed with the aid of his social media handles, while the other 4 are facing accusations of financing terrorism. On Tuesday, 26 November, Mikko Laaksonen, a senior detective superintendent at Finland's National Bureau of Investigation, reportedly revealed that Ekpa will be facing terrorism-related charges in May 2025. He stated that due to the ongoing investigation, no additional details could be revealed. He also mentioned that under normal circumstances, the next possible hearing could be scheduled no sooner than 2 weeks after the previous one, should the involved parties request for a re-evaluation by the district court. Meanwhile, as Ekpa seems to remain in custody, his supporters residing across Europe took off from the bases to Lahti in Finland for the historic convention.
Hell Biafra! Almost hell Biafra! Almost hell Biafra! Yeah, this is Biafrans. We came all the way from London. Now we are in Helsinki for our Biafra declaration, which is convention starting tomorrow. And today, Biafrans all over the world, from US, from America, from Asia, from Africa, we are coming to Finland for our declaration. Almost hell Biafra!
Almost hell Biafra!
Tell them something.
Okay, yes. Helsinki, we're here, and we just landed. Dogwenu is here,
Yeah, man.
and Vicky is here too.
We
And
come.
we have come to declare freedom Biafra.
It's a must.
It is
Live.
a must. Sacrosanct.
Live. Elare. Edo. Oh, hill.
Biafra.
We move.
Biafra.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Finland, here we come. Helsinki, wait for us. Lahti will be there. Live and direct. Who say we not go come? Who say Biafra will not come? Who say Biafra will not come? They are calling it half song. From the second, it's gonna be full song. Catch it.
Now, what are some of the issues in Ekpa's declaration of the restoration of the Biafra state, as he termed it? The first issue will be with the Nigerian constitution. The Nigerian constitution grants a level of self-determination to regions in form of federalism. That is why we have governors in the southeast who control some key areas like internal revenues, education, electricity, and agriculture. However, Ekpa and his followers are seeking a more radical level of freedom in the form of political independence. Unfortunately, the Nigerian constitution does not guarantee freedom to any region to create an entirely separate political entity from Nigeria. It is instructive that it is difficult for a part of a state, especially a federation, to attempt to break away from the parent country without an eruption of a brutal warfare. This happened in the United States between 1861 and 1865 when the Confederate South attempted to secede from the Union, but the then U.S. President Abraham Lincoln militarily reunited the South with the Union. It also happened twice in the Russian Federation in the 1990s and then in the first decade of the 21st century when the predominantly Muslim population in the North Caucasus region fought a bloody war to break away from the Federation. But the Russian Authority subdued the attempt. Also in Cameroon, separatist agitations have been raging on since 2016 between the Amazonian insurgents and the government of Cameroon. Now, each of these separatist wars, each of them has contributed to thousands of casualties, including women and children. So, you now understand what devastating implications Simon Ekpa's declaration might bring, especially to Nigerians in the southeast. In simple terms, a declaration of a sovereign state means that the so-called Biafra government in exile will establish a legal ground upon which to make and enforce laws and policies, just as the Nigeria's federal government does through its executive and legislature. You may recall that in February, Ekpa initiated what he called the Biafra self-referendum, in which he called on Biafrans in every part of the world to vote for or against the establishment of the defunct Biafra state. In August, Ekpa announced that the referendum, which was conducted physically and electronically, had recorded some 50 million votes. So based on this referendum, Simon Ekpa feels that Biafra's exit has acquired legitimacy, and therefore the government in exile automatically has gained the authority to declare the freedom and then control the Biafra territory. Already, Ekpa has established significant de facto power by successfully enforcing his sit-at-home order, which has been ongoing for nearly 4 years, despite counter-orders by Southeast governments to halt the exercise. So, if many lives have been lost because of one enforcement, imagine what will happen after the declaration on December 2. It will be a clash of governments in which more lives might be lost. Then the second issue in this declaration is the issue of the structure and the geography of the Biafra territory. We all know that on 20th August, Simon Ekpa unveiled what he called the map of the proposed 40 United States of Biafra, which included the South-South region. However, other prominent figures in the Biafra struggle, such as Uche Mafo, is proposing a restructuring of the map of Nigeria. Uche has argued that some tribes in the South-South are alienating themselves from the Igbos, maybe out of the fear of domination. Then there is a need to redraw this map to include liberty. But IPOB is insisting that parts of the South-South remain with the Igbos. And then the third issue in the declaration is what I may call the international solidarity. We have gathered that there are millions of supporters of it outside Nigeria. Occasionally, they stage demonstrations in the parts of the world in order to attract the attention of the world community, including the United Nations. However, no country has explicitly recognized the Biafra government in exile. Even the Directorate of State of IPOB, which is the highest decision-making body of the organization, has refused to recognize Ekpa and his government. So tensions are really high as to what to expect after the proposed December 2nd declaration. Until then, I remain Tochukwu Raphael. Have a nice day.